narrative. So I think the first ethical duty we have is a duty to just speak out as a human being, not because we are convinced that what we think is true, but just because we think it is our right to say, to speak out loud and clear when we believe that there is something that doesn't add up in the narrative that everybody seems to follow. So I think that's the first thing. I think it's the most important thing. I think that,
and I just want to jump in because you've done that. I mean, you've written a book about it, and but I wonder, what's it like for you? So I started this off by saying I found out about you through that Joe Rogan interview with Dr. Malone. Do you what's that like for you? I can imagine you write a book or you're speaking about this, and then you have other experts that I think are also well-meaning have their own spin or their own view of what you think. What is that like for you to hear your work being talked about, and you don't necessarily have control with where it goes and how people perceive it?
Yes, I know. Sometimes you feel out of control, but I just accepted that. I accepted that if you speak out, then and your words circulate in public space, then, well, everybody can use them and abuse them. Some people criticize me in an offensive way. Of course, that sometimes hurts a little bit. But other people criticize me in a very respectful way, and I don't have any problem with that, because I think that's exactly the function of speaking out. That's exactly, you put something out there in public space, and then it starts to work, and it initiates a certain process, a psychological process. So that's the function of speaking out. We should never expect that we will only receive affirmative reactions. That's not necessary. That's good. But I always hope that people will criticize me in a respectful way. Some do that, many don't. And yes, well, I lost some things during this crisis. I started to speak out from the first week onwards. I started to study the statistics a little bit. I started to, and I